Hello, everyone. BMD Neil before Zoth here again. Um, it's another Let's Talk. This one is going to be based around League of Legends. Now, I haven't played League of Legends very much in the past couple years. Season 5 and Season 6 were probably my more active. I created my account in Season 2, played a little then, dabbled in some AI, didn't play at all in Season 3, and then in Season 4, I finally hit level 30. Played my first PvP game when I was like, I don't know. I've always been more along the line of somebody who liked to play against AI, simply due to the fact that I feel like there's always a bridge between me and somebody else. For example, say for anybody who knows League of Legends, say I play you in the mid lane. For those of you who know what that means, you understand that matchup, okay? Like, say I play Yasuo and you pick Zed, and it's kind of like the same thing. But if you play blind pick, say we both pick Yasuo, now it's not so much the understanding of the mechanics of Yasuo, but the battle of the connection that happens during the game. For example, I will put you in this scenario. Say you are lagging. Yasuo is a very mechanical heavy champion. It's very easy to play once you master him, yes. And he is very OP if he gets a lead really early on, yes. However, say we're playing, I am not lagging at all, but you are. The odds of you being able to set up a proper play against me factors into the fact that you're not going to be able to react as you would. For example, his ultimate is a positional requirement. You have to be in the air in order for you to be able to activate your ultimate. So if you're lagging and you knock me up, or one of your teammates knocks me up, you're not going to be around connection-wise in order to synapse your ultimate into your rotation. So I played. I, so it's kind of like a battle of connections. I didn't really PvP much, but in season 5, I dabbled in PvP a lot, and then I decided to do ranked, which I got placed in my first season of playing. I got placed in silver 2, and then I worked my way up and made it to silver 1, and then I stopped playing because I ended up moving out to Arizona from where I'm at from now. Um, Later in season 5, I played a little more. That was before I quit, and then I moved back to where I'm at now, which is Ohio. Um, but bringing me to the point of this, a lot of people speculate on League of Legends with it being one of the, if not the highest rated Twitch stream uh, multiplayer game out right now. Like every time I go on to Twitch, it's one of the highest rated ones. It is the highest rated one. Twitch always has the most people watching League of Legends. Other games like Counter Strike and that, they've fallen off since League has blown up as it has. Now, I've dabbled in thinking about this a lot. The way League of Legends goes, it's a really free to play MOBA. You don't need no money to start. You don't need nothing. You could earn everything except for like icons and stuff like little things, skins and stuff. You can earn those as well through the Hextech crafting and all that. But you really need to spend no money on it. None at all. Now, in a way, I feel League of Legends can grow and become one of the greatest things. Now, a lot of things I've seen speculation on people on what would happen if League of Legends decided to add a membership feature to their game. Do you think they would thrive? In my opinion, yes, but I think it would bring in a new crowd, which is the reason why it would thrive. Because a lot of people who play the game play it because it's free. And if you added something like that, like this brings into another game called RuneScape. RuneScape I played since the game launched. I played this game when it first launched, and I still play it to this day. I put so much time and effort into that game, and I'm still not cap level. But that's not even that's not even a problem. But in the same sense of that, what I the the reason I'm paraphrasing that is because the way RuneScape kind of died was because I think they updated too much at once, which kind of threw off those vanilla players, those people who played from the beginning who had to grind this out and grind that out. And now all these people are coming in, starting fresh and stuff, and they can get cap level accounts in days rather than the months and weeks that we put in when we were first starting the game. Because now it's easy. And I don't know. It's the same with all these games that have in-game currency auction houses like the Grand Exchange in RuneScape, and the real money auction in Diablo, or the in-game currency auction in Diablo, the auction house in World of Warcraft. All that stuff is cool, but it's clouded by a frauded system, simply due to the fact that the moment something comes out, everybody seems to think everybody in the game is rich. You just put this much time into getting your mats and this and that, and you could just send that shit and put it on that web on the for sale site, the for sale auction house or Grand Exchange, whatever it is, and put that shit for outrageous prices. Sometimes people do buy it. There are lazy people who don't want to do the work. Those who do the work so they can use the mats, not to sell them. So they're not getting a piece of what they're getting. So people who already have a whole bunch of gold put their stuff on the auction house and stuff, and all they're getting is more gold. Now those people who have to grind that shit out to be able to get their blacksmithing up to level 600, or get their engineering up to 700, or get their mining, go out and do their mining and stuff to level it up. The people who are skillers and get herbalism or skinning and mining, or variants of those three, those people have the ability to send that stuff on auction house. But in the same sense, at some point in time, you're going to make a class that isn't a skiller. You're going to want to, because other classes that you make are going to be very well with certain professions. Now, I'm getting off topic, but I will swing back around to that. Now, going through all that is simple enough. I've gotten tailoring up to 600 in a couple hours from level 1, not using any of the new stuff, the Draenor, the Legion stuff. No, not using none of that. I've legitimately gotten it up in 6.5 hours, all the way to 600 with just using vanilla normal stuff. But I think that's fraudulent. The way the auction house system is based on in-game thoughts and stuff. Now, with that being said, it is what it is. It's a game. That's the way they wanted it to go, obviously, or they would put a lock. Even RuneScape at one point in time had a specific amount you couldn't go over and a specific amount you couldn't go under. And that worked for a while. I loved it. But then they got rid of that. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Now, back to where I was going. League of Legends. If League of Legends brought out a paid subscription, it would change the game a lot, but I think it would be for the better. In the sense that if they brought out paid stuff, there would be a lot of stuff they would have to add. They couldn't have items for people who paid, and it would be pay to win. You don't want to do pay to win because you're going to drive a lot of people who can't afford that shit monthly away. Unless you do something like Guild Wars does, where you pay for it and then you have it and you get access to all that. But again, it's still pay to win. I would like them to do a monthly subscription where you get access to the PBE, public beta environment, or certain access to free stuff. What is it? I'm trying to think of the game. RuneScape. RuneScape gives you access free to play stuff. For example, when you do free to play, it's a lot of content. There's a lot of free content in RuneScape. There's a lot of free skills in RuneScape. There's maybe 8 or 9, if I'm not mistaken. Last time I checked, it was 9. But you get all those 9 skills that are members only skills up to level 5. So you get to sample them, so you know what you're getting into if you do decide to member up. I feel if League of Legends did something like that, I think they would thrive. I think it would shoot them straight up into the sky and they would never look back. Now, after a while, I think they would die out, which is Why I think they haven't done that. I think they thought that through. I'm one person and they have a team of people who think about stuff like this all the time. Now, in the same sense, I I feel if League of Legends I feel if League of Legends doesn't change stuff based on their own agenda, that they're gonna start to get twisted. And what I mean by that is they're changing stuff based on what people complain about. And I don't like that. Like as me personally, I'm a Yasuo main, and I will always say that. And I'm not defending the champion in no way. I love him. I love the way he is. I love where he's at now. He's not broken unless you let him get broken. A Yasuo with no items is a Yasuo that's dead. Simple as that. Is that any champion? Sure. No champion is going to thrive with no items. You let him get items, you let him farm, you don't have your jungler gank for you, you don't pressure him. He gets items, he gets to farm, you're done. He's not gonna thrive, you're not gonna lose on it. You're not. The thing you have to do though is you have to remember that Yasuo is a champion that's based on a certain concept of a champion. He has flaws, he has weaknesses. His weaknesses, he has shit late game. He has a very shit late game. If you have a lot of tanks, he's a tank killer. But his late game is atrocious just as much as he's a really mid-game based champion. Now, I don't care if you don't agree with that. I really don't give a shit. His late game is bad because once you get enough items to deal with his burst, he can't kill you. You pop his shield, you bust him up, he's squishy. He has no defensive stats. You could build him tanky, but then he doesn't do as much damage as you would want him to do, and he still would probably lose. His early game is shit because he doesn't have the right equipment to be able to do something. His mid game is where he scales off variance. Like if for example he is thriving and he is getting his farm and he's getting his assists or kills or ganks and stuff that he needs in order to be good, you have yourself a problem. But in the same sense, if he doesn't have a team comp in order to do something about that, you're not going to have to worry about him during the late game. If all you got to do is just stall out, and then Yasuo will fall straight off. Which brings me to my other point. If Riot started to follow people who kept complaining and arguing and bitching about stuff like that, the game would be boring. Because the moment they start following people who talk about Yasuo needs nerfed and Yasuo needs this and Yasuo needs that, well, somebody who plays Yasuo, I want this person changed. Okay? I don't like how Riven is right now. Change her. I don't like how Lee Sin is right now. Change her. I don't like how Ahri is right now. Change her. I don't like how Lux is ever. I've never liked Lux. The fucking hitboxes on her stuns are stupid. But that's what I'm saying though. Like, if they cater to one party, they need to cater to all parties, and that's not how it works. They need to do what they need to do. They need to see what's the problem, and they need to fill the people who they put as like moderators on certain websites. Like they got moderators on the forums and stuff like that. They need these people to see what this is and then to do it. Because if Yasuo isn't struggling because the other teams can't play well against him, that's one thing. But if he's not struggling because everybody who plays him is just too good with him, that's a whole different story. If for example, you feed him 5-0 and he gets his first item and starts snowballing his entire team into the late game and utterly annihilates you to the 20-minute forfeit, that's your fault. But if he's 0-5 and he first gets an item and you guys are playing dumb and try to kill him 1v5 and then you get knocked up and beat on because you let him get his one item, regardless of if he has one item or not, there should be no reason you should attack one person. You should always group up and try to kill him and avoid stuff. Like if you're letting him knock you into the air and ulting you and then dashing away and getting away and then he kills one of you guys, that's your fault. That's basically all you did. You did it. Your fault. Which brings me into another weakness of Yasuo. Team comps. If he doesn't have the team comp with knockups, he's the only one that knocks you up. So if you can avoid his knockup, he's useless. He has his 100% crit chance with his passive and all that, but that's easily worked around, because not only does that, I'm sorry about that. I thought somebody was in my driveway. But not only does that affect him in a weird way, but it also reduces his crit chance, the crit damage he throws out by 10%. Now, if you get items such as Infinity Edge, obviously it's a big item on him. It goes up to 240. It goes up to 240% on crits. Now with Infinity Edge and Static Shiv or Phantom Dancer, whichever way you want to build them, I like building Static Shiv because I love farming. I love being in a solo lane and just doing my farming thing. You get 100% crit chance with 2 items. Now, OP, yeah, but there are items against that. For example, you can get Runai's Hurricane, or not Runai's Hurricane, wow. Randuin's Omen. That reduces crit damage by 10%, on top of adding 500 health and armor. So, you just countered that. Health and armor are going to stop him from destroying you utterly. Health is just a matter of health. Health and armor, he's a physical dealing melee champion. If you build enough health and armor, I want to stop right there for a second. Yes, I get there should be no reason you should have to itemize just to stop one champion. But you're not just stopping one champion. You're stopping one champion and a role specifically set on sitting in the back line and bashing your team into shit. AD carry role. Their job is to make sure that your tanks don't stay tanks. Their job is to make sure they can knock your health down fast enough to where you can get to the back line and kill their person who's trying to knock your tanks down. So in the same sense, you're building health and armor for multiple reasons. You're going to do what you're going to do anyways. It's just, the whole Yasuo debacle is just annoying to me. The champion itself has very well-rounded capabilities. It's just the way they change everything around him that makes him OP. And I feel that we need to stop this whole debate on whether or not this person needs change or that person needs change, because all it's going to do is just completely go off track. Because see, you change Yasuo, I get you want to update everybody. That's perfectly fine. But in the same sense, if you update one champion and you don't update the other ones that everybody's asking for, you're going to be playing favoritism. That's not cool. You're a video game. It's a video game. You should just be playing it for fun. You should stop arguing about it. Riot will change them when they change them. It is not up to you to let them know what they need to change. You give them feedback. If they feel that your feedback is useful, by all means. Now, back to what I was saying about Riot and the pay to play. I hope they don't make it pay to play, or offer a paid membership to a point. Well, I hope they don't do that at all. I said I think they would thrive, and I think it's a good idea if they did, because they're a very good company. I like it. I mean, it's not their fault that people exploit their game and get very good at it, because I don't have the time that they do on my hands in order to be able to play the game enough to be good at it like they are. I don't have the ability to do that. And in my sense, I've always felt like stuff that everybody says is to get better just seems to be awkwardly misconstrued in a whole bunch of needless information. Like watching streamers get you better, doing research. What research? What watching streamers? If I watch a streamer play a champion that I'm playing, all I'm going to be doing is just making his style, mine, worse. Because I'm not as good as he is. Regardless if I watch him play 16 games and he does different things each time, all I'm going to be doing is seeing how he does them. Whether he wins or not, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that I just watched him do it the way he does it. So if he's an aggressive player, I'm going to try to be aggressive, and I may not be an aggressive player, and I'm going to flop. Same sense if I'm a passive player, or if I'm an aggressive player and I'm watching him be passive, I'm going to try to be passive, and my farming might not be as well as his is. So I'm going to be falling off. And then by the time I get to the point where an aggressive player would be at, and be at the power spike, I'm gonna be playing so passive that it's not gonna work. Like I'm gonna fall off. I keep getting distracted, and I keep jumbling everything into one thing. So as I was saying, free to play versus pay to play, or paid membership subscription for League of Legends. Do I think it would be a good idea? My final opinion on that is probably no. I don't think it would be a good idea. It would draw the wrong attention. All it would do is probably pull the diehard people who have already played the game enough to where the point that the only reason they still play it is because it's free to play and it's enjoyable. It really is enjoyable sometimes. I just don't like all the new changes they're doing. Like they're making autofill, which I think the autofill stuff is stupid. If they would legitimately look at the hard teeth on all the roles that aren't being played. For example, mid lane is a high end pick right now. Jungle is a high end pick right now. Top and support seem to be two roles that if I queue for, I end up getting auto-filled. Or if I queue for two different roles other than support or top, I seem to get auto-filled into one or the other. And I feel if they looked at those and seen what the problem was, like not a lot of people like to play tanks, so people don't queue for top. And when they do play marksman in the top lane, somebody who they're playing against plays a tank, so they get dumpstered in the early game. And yeah, like that's not fun. And then support is basically a fucking grown-up babysitter. I don't want to play a babysitter. I sit there for 20 minutes and make sure my AD carry doesn't die while making sure their enemy team people can't get to them. And all I get is bitching and crying in the chat about how my AD carry died because I wasn't there when he decided to try 2v1 without me even there, and that's supposed to be my fault? No, fuck off. Eat me. Simple as that. AD carries are spazzes. And coming from an AD carry main. Ha. I play AD carry in jungle now because I couldn't do the mid lane. That mage update was just too strong for me. I couldn't do it. It was just too much. And I wanted to get really good at carrying games, which junglers do a lot. Mid laners can, but in the same sense, junglers and AD carries can affect the game so much more. Like, if I'm a jungler, I can make sure my top lane gets fed, my mid lane and my bot lane both get fed while also feeding myself with assists and farm. As a mid laner, yes, you can roam and stuff, but it's not the same. You don't have the same freedom. Whereas an AD carry, your job is to try to get kills in order to get boosted up, or to get farm in order to get boosted up to the top, to where you're able to be the highest leading damage role in the game. Now, does that work most of the time? Not really. Do you try to watch the pros play a certain champion and then go to play him, and then you try to do the same thing and then you get dumpstered? Yeah. Don't watch pro streams and then you just go to a game where you're in bronze 5 trying to do your placement or your promos and expect to accomplish what they just did, because it's not going to work. There are classes and wavelengths above you, and you don't have the skill set or the mechanics of the game knowledge in order to be able to do stuff like that. Like, you see him flash over a wall and then dash back as Lucian and then do a Q halfway through his dash with the W, and then you done auto attack 5 fucking times in the same sentence, in the same string of doing abilities, and you're not going to be able to do that. You don't have the same mechanical. But I will leave you on this. If they made it pay to play, if they did like a paid subscription, would I play it? Most likely not. I probably, like, the only reason I play League of Legends right now is because it's free to play. If they brought content in order to streamline people, not streamline, what the fucking word phrasing is that? If they brought content to the game that would emphasize a necessity or a want for people to move over to a paid membership subscription, would I pay for it? Absolutely. Highly unlikely in the next couple of seasons they will do that, but if they did, there's a good chance I would probably pay for it. Now, if they did a monthly subscription, or if they did like Guild Wars did, where a one pay access, the one pay access I think would have a better impact, because you pay for it once and you get everything that the membership would have to offer, like free skins or specialty items that they bring out and stuff like that. Like I would love for them to do something like that. I wish they would do something like that. But in the same sense, they are a big company. It is gaining ground right now. So who knows what we'll see in the future. I hope they do bring something out like that. And in the meantime, I'll be doing me, getting ready for another video tomorrow. Shit. I apologize. If you like this video, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment on what you want me to do tomorrow. If I don't hear anything, I'll probably do something. I'll probably do my thesis on life. Like my theory on life, my opinion on life is pretty drawn out. I'm only I'm only 23, so I've lived enough life for somebody my age. So I'll give my opinion on what I think life should be and how it should go. I'm gonna delve into my fears and stuff like that, which is not something I like to do too much. I don't like to think about it. Oh. But I'll see you tomorrow. If you liked the video, subscribe, leave a like, comment down below. If I get enough questions asked about a certain topic, I'll do that. But thank you. Have a good time.